Phone just turned off again. There wasn't enough space. So we'll continue. What I was saying about is Black Elk, the holy man, and the Sioux North American Indian tribe holy man, who had his first great vision at the age of 9. And when the many talented shamans, when they have the shamanic sickness, it begins often at puberty. And why puberty is because that's when your energy, your libido, your life force, your kundalini awakes. And so, but you need to overcome its survival instincts, its animal instincts, and bring it into the level of inwardness. And this means of dropping the body's needs, dropping the body as it were, often called, dropping the ego, dropping the body's needs to survive, and you exist as spirit. That is to say, your whole energy is redirected inwards, your psychic energy, your life energy, your libido inwards, and then something happens within you. You will see in your dreams the growing of the inner self. Often begins as a helpful animal. Once you've managed to overcome the animal instincts, it turns into a human. This is what Joseph Campbell, I think I mentioned this before, this is what Joseph Campbell meant by transformation from animal human to human human. So this is when you have, you could say, an out-of-body experience. An out-of-body experience means you have managed to subdue the body's needs to survive, its animal instincts, and you exist, or you have touched the real you, the spirit you, the divine, the inner self, the true self. What I often call the feminine, because the feminine is your inner life, the masculine is your outer life. The feminine is your dreams, visions, and intuition especially. So for me, it happened when I was 12 years old, at the time of puberty. It started off with a rather big mystic experience. At the time, my uncle, which I was really close with, my dad's younger brother, he went missing. He actually died in a tragic accident, but we didn't know that he died. And I missed him a lot. I was worried about him a lot. And one night, during that period, I wake in the middle of the night and I can hear footsteps on the carpet moving closer to my bed. Then someone sitting on the edge of the bed. I feel an arm on my hand, on my shoulder, and someone saying in my head, "Don't worry, no matter what happens in your life, you're going to be always looked after." Now, I thought that you would think that this would have been my uncle coming to say goodbye, that everything's going to be fine. But the voice was woman's voice, an unknown woman's voice. Next, such deep mystic experiences in my dream happened when I was 24 years old, about the age of 24, so another 12 years again. This time I'm living in Perth, in Australia. I have a high-paying job, but I'm miserable. I dread the moment that I have to go back to work. So my energy starts to flow inward. Again, my libido is redirected inwards. I've just split up with my fiance, and I didn't want to have anything more to do with society, really, the way that society lives. I always thought that I deeply felt that there's more to life than just this running around and paying bills and whatnot. So I was deeply depressed. So you see, depression is a way of you going inward, of finding your own inward self, finding what you really are, experiencing a mystic experience. So one of the dreams at that time, the big dreams for me were, again, I wake up in the middle of the night and I see a face of a woman floating above my face. She's dressed in white. She's glowing like a moon glow. She's glowing with light. And she says to me, "Marek, don't lose the spirit, and I will show you everything that you're looking for." This means don't extrovert your life force, your libido, your psychic energy. but turn it inward, force it back into yourself, and I will show you everything you're looking for. And that's how it's been for me ever since. Whenever I need an answer, whenever I'm looking for a solution, I can't get out, I need help with something, a situation that I need to get out, find a solution for, I need a way out. I turn inward. I incubate. I turn on my energy inward, my libido, my kundalini, and sooner or later the answers come. It's usually intuitive. And I might be reading something or listening to something, and suddenly there's a ringing in my ear, bang, 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 and something comes through. It might not come through in a whole, or it might. Often it just goes bang, and it'll be 2 words or 3 words, and that's it. That's the whole information that you need. And sometimes it comes in bits. I'll have to pay attention to it again, and something, I'll know a little. It's giving me a little bit of information today, and more information in 2 days and 3 days. But the point is to be centered, to pay attention to what is being given to you, what your information is being downloaded into your mind, into your memory. So it's intuitive. I remember when I was saying that Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and he had his mystic experiences after he managed to overcome the temptation of the demon Mara, the demon Mara being the survival instincts of hoarding, lust and power and whatnot. The first thing that happened to him once he managed to overcome this was the opening of his inner eye. It was after the opening of the inner eye he had his great vision, the great vision of life beyond life, his life beyond life, of our eternal self, and then interconnectedness of everything. A lot of people talk about when they have this huge enlightenment that they are the entire universe, because that's what you are. You are the consciousness of this universe, not just of your consciousness or the consciousness of the planet, which you are, all the animals and whatnot, but the entire universe. This is not easy to understand, because we live in a little cages, and you are just who you are, your name and your address and your credit card number and whatnot. But if you manage to open up this thing, bang, and you realize that you're not just this little human in this specific name, human in this little cage, but you are actually the whole thing, things begin to happen. So mysticism, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, mysticism is a direct mystic experience of the oneness with everything. And it begins with you redirecting your energy inwards towards your inner self. And then that inner self turns from a helpful animal, for instance, to a human, and with more work, this inner self will have your face. You are looking for yourself in this life. That's the purpose of your life. You're looking to understand that you are the divine. If you're a man, you're a god. If you're a woman, you're a goddess. But it's the same thing, whether it is whatever gender, it is the same sacred spirit, or the consciousness, or the energy that supports the universe and then life and so life. You are that, and that's mysticism. That's why, going back to what I was reading at the beginning of my video, what mysticism is the union with the divine. Union with yourself as the divine, and so is everybody else. It is God is the center that is everywhere and nowhere. See, you are the center that is everywhere and nowhere. That is to say, it's everywhere but nowhere specific. Not in a Holy Land, in Mecca, in the church, in the political affiliation, in the imagined political savior or whatnot. it is just everywhere. Everyone is that center of the consciousness. So that's the mystic experiences. And it begins with incubating of your energy inward. And often it's triggered off by an event in your life where you no longer find any meaning in society. You see? You are disappointed. You've been hurt so much, or you've disappointed by it so much that you no longer care to have anything to do with it. Depression comes. That's why so many mystics and poets and spiritual people often say, light is there where the light is, where wound is where the light enters you. You see? You turn inward and there is the light. The life has wounded you and the light comes through because you have turned completely inward. And that's mysticism. Mysticism is not about definitions or books or gurus or religions or anything like that. It is about you and your own direct relationship with the divine, with the universe, with the divine universe, with this mystery that underlines everything else. So that's what I wanted to touch on today, a little bit more about mysticism. Next time, next video, there might be a better weather, a cooler weather, so I'll do a walkie-talkie again, a morning walk with mysticism. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day. If you have any questions, or if you want to know something particular, best is to stay with that question until you get your own answer in dreams, visions, or intuition. But if there's something that you want from me, that you want to know, you want me to talk about, please, share, write to me, perhaps in a comment under the video or through Facebook or any other way that I have many ways to contact me on social media. So don't be afraid to write and ask a question. I have done talks, public talks to people that have given me questions before, so it's not a problem. So until next time, I'll see you then.